Hi.
Hi. So
Hi.
everyone watching, if you're joining live, if you're watching the replay, this is my fabulous vulnerability and intimacy sex guru, amazing woman, Veronica Kaulinis. And I wanted to bring her on because my life has changed after working with her. And I know that you beauty pros watching, you need to hear what she has to say about vulnerability, intimacy, knowing yourself, and how it affects you behind the chair. Another thing is, I think I might have poor connection, so let me just forewarn you. I'm so sorry. Stick around, catch the replay. We're going to be here. So, Veronica,
Hi. Thanks for having me.
thank you for doing this. Tell us your story. Who are
Yeah.
you, and how did you become this amazing witchy witch person that I just love so much?
Well, thank you. I love you too, and happy Valentine's Day to everyone who's watching. Yeah, so I am a intimacy coach, and I support people who, want to have deeper relationships, want to increase their level of intimacy and receiving, and, want to, really let go of any shame that's holding them back from being their authentic, being expressing themselves, being authentic, stepping into their power, owning their voice. And, I got into this work from, obviously, I think as coaches, as teachers, or beauty professionals who are watching this, you probably have gotten into your career because it's something that you needed the most, right? And, at the time, 3 years ago when I started, and I've been in the coaching industry for the past 5 years, studying a lot of personal development and leadership. And, even though I knew I was like really good at leadership and, getting shit done and, really in this like masculine energy, and that worked for me. But what was missing was vulnerability. What was missing was authenticity. What was missing was like my heart, right? I was afraid of like opening my heart to love and really letting people in. And so, in my relationships, I noticed that there was always this fear of, I had these like surface level kind of relationships, or I had this fear of, really letting people into my heart. And even though I wanted it, I wanted depth, I wanted intimacy, I wanted like, um, you know, something like that was so beautiful and long lasting, but I was afraid of like really being vulnerable. So I started my company, Vulnerable AF, and it started off as a dinner series, and then it turned into a workshop series that I started leading all around the world. And then I started doing facilitator trainings, teaching people how to lead Vulnerable AF. And then, recently last year, I started really diving into intimacy and relationships and sex. And, and all of this, I think, talking about, and like this applies to anybody who's watching, because I think, really getting comfortable with your sexuality, really getting comfortable with like, opening your heart, asking better questions, revealing yourself, expressing your truth, expressing like what is actually true for you is really the foundation of leadership. It's the foundation of, the like life in many ways. Like your sexuality is your creative life force. And, so I've been coaching about intimacy and relationships, and it's been really, really amazing to see people really, start to open up their hearts and express their truth and overcome, blocks and barriers that are in their way of having like just true depth in their relationships, and also in their career, right? Like, so like you asked me about, intimacy and vulnerability, and how it like really helps with, professionals who are, stepping into their truth and, connecting with their clients, right? Like I find like, as a leader, as a coach, I can't have the kind of depth with my clients or the kind of, I can't be a leader without being actually being vulnerable, right? And actually like being relatable, right? Like I put myself I put my whole self on the table with my clients, because when I do that, it inspires my clients to be themselves. It inspires my clients to express their truth, right? So, yeah, I think leading with vulnerability is so, so key and important.
Absolutely. And like the biggest thing I learned with you was it is amazing to be in the mess. When you're in the mess and you're in all the feels, whether it's physically rolling around in the mud and having a great time, or it's being okay with feeling all the emotions, that has helped me in my daily life in the salon, in my personal life, in my relationships with my family. And I was like, oh my God, like I learned so much. I need my followers, I need these hairdressers, makeup artists to know that it's okay, that it is good to be in the mess. Like you need to, like they need to hear this from my teacher. I need to share my teacher with these people. So I find that a lot of stylists, a lot of makeup artists, we're dealing, especially estheticians, we're dealing with people's appearance. And you cannot get any more vulnerable than that, because
Yes.
that's who you present yourself as. But when you get to the bottom of it and you know who you are, it doesn't matter. All these hairdressers are going to freak out. It doesn't matter how you look like, because you are okay with you.
Yeah. And I think I love, this is such a good topic too, because like, obviously people go into a salon to look beautiful, right? To come out more beautiful, to fix something, right? To like fix your hair,
Right?
or do your hair, get your hair done, get your makeup done, get your nails done. Like all of this is to like, embrace beauty, right? And also it's so it's ironic, right? Like to talk about embracing the mess, right? Can you like still, can your mess still be beautiful, right? Can who you are without, whatever it is that you want to get done, still be beautiful, right? And have that be okay. And, letting go of imperfections or embracing the imperfections, right?
Right.
And like, I imagine, as beauty professionals, if they were more okay with their mess, right? It would give their clients more permission to like be who they are and like love themselves and to embrace all of them and welcoming the mess is also really beautiful. And I imagine like, for me, like when I walk into a hair salon and like I'm being real with my stylist or with my hairdresser, like, it makes me feel more comfortable when I can just like be me and talk about the real shit and talk about what's going on and, and not have to like live up to this perfection, right? This idealist perfection
Right.
that I come in there with.
See, exactly. This is why I love her, everybody. I love her so much. Okay. So, with everything you just said, which is amazing, what is one thing that you wish everybody would know about vulnerability?
Mm. The one thing that I wish everybody would know about vulnerability is that um, it is it's it is okay to be you, like exactly as you are,
Exactly.
and that it's beautiful. Who you are is already beautiful. You
Yeah.
don't need to do anything, change anything, fix anything, right? It's everything. It's everything. And when you trust yourself, trusting yourself is the first step.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So now today's Valentine's Day, and I know the comparison game is strong because as beauty pros, hairstylists, we're there for the brides and the bridesmaids, and oh yeah, so and so is going to be there for me, and like there's a lot of comparison, and we're serving people. But what advice would you give so that we can remain in our power instead of succumbing to that? Oh, I wish that was me.
Yeah. Um, that's a good question. I think like, whether you're single, if you're in a relationship, right? It's like, can you trust yourself and be so okay with who you are, right? And like, I imagine it could probably be, um, easy to compare yourself if like you're at Valentine's Day and people are coming in and they're like talking about what dates they're going on or like what they're doing with their partner, and and like it's easy to compare yourself to other people and what their life may look like, right? But I think it's important to develop a strong connection with yourself, connect with you if you're single, use this time to like connect with your friends, um, and like embracing where you are and loving where you are, loving the steps, right? And like, I think being vulnerable about like what it is that you do desire. Maybe there is something that you want and you're like wanting a relationship, or you want to go on a date and you're like, wow, I want to go on a date with someone, and like actually like embracing that instead of pretending like you don't.
Exactly. Like,
Right, embracing it and saying it, and maybe it would happen if you actually express desire, and not from a place of comparison or like, oh, like I wish no one wants to go on a date with me, right? Like, but like, oh, like actually expressing their desire. Maybe it's with a friend. Maybe it's with yourself. Maybe it's with a date. Like who knows?
right.
And loving.
Honest and real with yourself, even if it hurts, because that's where the magic happens.
Yeah, and like even if it hurts, if you feel like you're in pain, or if you feel sadness, if you feel like lonely, right? Being honest about that, being real about that with friends. Like if you feel lonely, use this day as an opportunity to connect with a friend, connect with yourself. Like take yourself out on a date,
Right.
be vulnerable and tell your crush that you want to go on a date with them, or like play around with it, see what happens, throw yourself out there. Vulnerability is an opportunity. It's a leap into the unknown, right? It's a risk. It's risky.
Yeah.
And it's like diving into the abyss, and you're like, I don't know what's going to happen, right? And that's why it's so courageous to be vulnerable and to be like, be you and be yourself. And like, especially beauty professionals, like use this as a time to like love on yourself, right? And not do it because you think it'll make you look better, be better than who you already are.
Exactly. Love that. Okay, so for those of you watching live or you're watching the replay and you want to work with Veronica, how can they get in contact with you so that they can do that?
Yeah, thank you. So I'm very active on social media. So follow me on Instagram. I have one-on-one coaching, one-on-one coaching, one-on-one coaching program. I don't have any group courses coming out anytime soon, but yeah, if you're interested in working one-on-one together, I have a few spots open for that. If you want to attend a Vulnerable AF, I'm starting to lead weekly Vulnerable AF events starting next week. So if you're interested in attending a Vulnerable AF, which is a safe space for communication, for empowerment, for vulnerability, and you get to meet like-minded people, definitely come check it out. And yeah. Would love to hear like how this video impacted you and how your day got better because of listening to it.
Absolutely. Yes. Give her the feedback. Give me the feedback. I'd love to know too. Thank you so much, Veronica, for coming on. And I hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day.
Thank you. Thank you. Love you so much. Thank you for having me on.
You're welcome. I'll talk soon.
Bye.